Hey! Hey!
A man and his group venture deep into the woods, unaware of the unsettling events that await them.
Opa. Assustou? Agora não.
As they push forward, they come across a weathered stuffed teddy bear hanging eerily from a tree, its presence sparking disturbing questions about who or what left it behind.
Olha ali!
O urso!
Cara do céu!
Credo, Thiago.
Olha que amarrado.
Isso? Amor, é um urso, velho. Que lugar é esse, Thiago? Cara, é um urso, olha isso.
Just moments later, they catch sight of shadowy figures lurking in the distance. Before anyone can react, the strangers abruptly scatter, setting off a chaotic chase through the dark, tangled forest.
Ei, vamos lá onde você viu aquele vulto lá?
Vamos,
pra gente dar uma
vamos.
olhada?
Ai, meu Deus.
Ei!
Thiago
Ei!
do céu.
Minha lanterna apagou!
Calma, Thiago.
Ei!
Deep within a haunted, eerie forest, a lone traveler stumbles upon human bones, half buried beneath decaying leaves.
Going into the woods at night time. Not just any woods. Right then, let's go in.
The oppressive silence is shattered as the camera zooms in on the scattered remains, stirring unsettling questions about war, what left them behind. With each step deeper into the forest,
Actual human bones, and look where we are. The middle, pitch black woods. Now, what are we actually doing in here?
a growing sense of dread takes hold, and the uneasy feeling that something is watching becomes impossible to ignore. In February 2013, several residents of a quiet neighborhood in northern Oregon reported hearing strange, unsettling noises coming from the nearby forest. The sounds were described as eerie, echoing laughter unnaturally loud and chilling as they carried through the trees and into the surrounding area. One curious resident, drawn by the bizarre noise, stepped outside with a phone and began recording near the source of the sound. Some believe the noises may have come from foxes or coyotes, known for their unusual calls. However, skeptics argue that the sounds were far louder and more human-like than typical wildlife, insisting coyotes, for example, have a sharper, more canine shriek. To this day, the true source of the eerie laughter remains a mystery. Kyler was out for an early morning jog on a trail in Provo, Utah, when he spotted what he believed was a baby bobcat up ahead. Curious, he pulled out his phone and began recording only to realize it wasn't a bobcat, but a baby cougar. Moments later, the mother cougar appeared.
You! Oh, 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 no! Get the away! Get the away! Go! 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 No! No! Go away! Go away! Please go away! Oh! Oh!
Nice and slow. Come on. Ah! No.
Suddenly, Kyler found himself in a tense standoff. He began backing away slowly, trying to make himself look big and scare the animal off with loud noises. But the cougar wasn't intimidated. It continued to follow him, occasionally lunging aggressively. At one point, Kyler glanced over his shoulder to avoid tripping while retreating. That brief moment of distraction triggered the cougar to charge, closing the distance to just a few feet.
Go away. No, you taste, dude. Trying to attack you, your eyes are looking away from you. Dude. No, go away. Go away. No. No. Yeah, get away from me. Face.
The terrifying encounter lasted 6 full minutes. It finally ended when Kyler hurled a large rock at the animal, startling it enough to make it flee. Cougar encounters like this are incredibly dangerous. Had Kyler turned and run, or failed to maintain his intimidating posture, the cougar's predatory instincts could have taken over, leading to a far more tragic outcome. A man on his way home to Alaska decides to spend the night camping in a remote, isolated area.
Well guys, I just got to my camping spot for the night on my road trip home to Alaska, and I got on Google Maps, I turned on the satellite imagery, I found a dirt road.
Curious about his surroundings, he opens Google Maps and notices a faint dirt road leading to what looks like an old parking spot nearby.
That had a little parking spot way out it, and went out to the parking spot, and when I got there, it is the scariest place or creepiest place I've ever camped, and I did some history.
Intrigued, he steps out to explore. What he finds is deeply disturbing. Something about the spot feels wrong. After digging into the area's history, he's horrified to learn that a man was brutally murdered there years ago, his face torn off before his body was discovered.
Checking on Google when I found this place and found out that some guy was violently murdered here, and his face is all kind of ripped off and torn up, and they left him out here. Found his body here, so anyway, that's where we're spending the night.
Shaken to his core, he steps outside once more to film the eerie, abandoned location. But an overwhelming sense of dread quickly sends him rushing back to his van, where he locks the doors and refuses to come back out. In 1957, several residents of Emerson reported eerie and unexplained sightings that unsettled the quiet town. Decades later, in 1997, new footage emerged capturing shadowy, inhuman figures on video, rekindling both fear and fascination within the community. Then, less than 2 miles from the original sighting location, a local game hunter stumbled upon an abandoned video camera, deepening the mystery surrounding these chilling events.
Do you see that? Over there, look, over there. Do you see that?
What the?
In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason uploaded a video to his channel Appy Mountain Trekkers, documenting a solo overnight trip into the mountains. Known for sharing his outdoor adventures ranging from hiking and camping to wilderness survival, Jason's content is typically calm and informative. But this particular trip took an unsettling turn. The hike up the mountain was uneventful. Upon reaching his campsite, Jason set up his tent and demonstrated how he starts a fire as the sun began to dip below the horizon. As dusk settled in, he passed the time by trying his hand at spoon carving. It was during this quiet moment that he first heard a strange sound echoing from one of the nearby mountain peaks. He brushed it off as a bird or small animal and continued with his preparations. By around 9 p.m., Jason turned off the camera and went to bed. But less than an hour later, he was startled awake by a noise unlike anything he had ever heard before, a deep, guttural animal call coming from somewhere in the distance.
I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Though shaken, he eventually drifted back to sleep. At around 1 a.m., Jason was awakened again, this time by the unnerving sound of something, or someone, slowly circling his tent.
Whatever it is, it's close. You hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
As he scanned the darkness with his flashlight, the camera captured something eerie. If you look closely at the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see the reflection of what appears to be 1, possibly 2, sets of glowing eyes. While many animals have eyes that reflect light at night, the bright white glare seen in the footage closely resembles that of wolves or coyotes. Although domestic dogs can reflect similar colors, the remote location and late hour make that explanation unlikely. Wolves and coyotes typically avoid people, but they can become dangerously aggressive, especially if they feel cornered or have pups nearby. If that were the case, Jason was unknowingly in serious danger. Chillingly, he doesn't seem to notice the eyes watching him just beyond the edge of his light. He simply returns to his tent and manages to sleep through the rest of the night. The next morning, Jason recorded a short update for his viewers, but he made no mention of the eyes caught on camera, suggesting he never realized what had been so close. After this video, no further updates were given about the incident. While making their way through the dense forest, someone catches a sudden movement behind a nearby tree. Peering out from behind the trunk is a feral figure, barely visible, its wild, unblinking eyes locked directly onto the camera. As the person filming cautiously moves closer, the figure abruptly slips back behind the tree, vanishing into the shadows without a sound. This video was captured by a mountain biker in Vancouver, Canada. He had set up his phone to record a shot of himself riding down a stretch of the mountain trail. As he speeds past the camera, he suddenly slams on the brakes and begins shouting. Moments later, he walks back into frame, pushing his bike uphill while glancing nervously over his shoulder. Behind him, a bear is following his exact path.
Hey, hey! 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 Hey!
Trying to appear larger, the biker uses his bike as a shield, banging it on the ground to intimidate the animal. The bear hesitates, then retreats toward the camera, eventually knocking it over. The bear lingers over the fallen device for a few tense moments, before finally turning and disappearing into the woods, giving the rider just enough time to retrieve his phone and escape safely.